Hello and welcome to episode 5 of our Imperial campaign. We are picking up right where we left off as we have retaken Jada and Borlias. We are building our structures there. We are going to plan on taking these planets southbound next. We have corruption on Zar Naboo. We need to remove that immediately. Let's work on doing so. Let's go ahead and we need our space station to be built here before I move out my units. But we can go ahead and move our ground forces back over to Ordibana. On Core Lag, we also need to remove corruption here as well. Let's build a anti-corruption agent here. Let's get some on Coruscant as well. Okay. We have this building here. Okay, Borlias, we did rebuild this. We're waiting to get payday so we can rebuild our mines here. Definitely need to do a better job of defending this planet, which we already are, as we have an outpost, which is something we didn't have in the last time, so should already be much betterly defended. Let's neutralize the hero on Malastare and remove corruption on Naboo. Having corruption on these these backline planets isn't super important because they can't bribe their way through it. It's still good to remove the corruption though when you can. On Thyphera, we should have the ability to build that. We'll go ahead and remove the corruption on Ordibana as well. And get rid of this guy. Let's remove the corruption here. Needs to also remove the corruption on Borlias as well. Alright, the space station got built on Jada. Let's push my space units over to Ordibana. We just hit payday again. We are going to invest into Tech 2 of heavy vehicles. And after that, we need to start working on our space technology. Jada is going to be really hard to defend in space because it opens them up to the core worlds as we saw in that last few episodes. So I want to make sure that we defend this planet, but we don't really have any realistic way of defending it. So we're probably just going to have to make sure that any time they take the space station here, we can quickly sweep back our fleet back over it. What you could do if you wanted to is take this planet, the nebula right here, and build a space station here, here on Bilbringi, and here on Jada. That way you have two buffer planets, excuse me. So if they were to take this space station, you have plenty of time to react to send your fleet back north before they can hit your core worlds. Alright, we hit payday again. We are already building tech there. Let's get a space tech here. We're going to go ahead and invest into warships tech 1. And we actually have enough money to invest into another tech. On Gourmand, we have this. So let's go ahead and actually get fighter tech. We're going to head and spend the extra credits and work on fighter tech. And with that, let's go ahead and send our fleet after Alien and our ground forces to Alien. We're doing really good. We have 13,500 around there credits per week. We have Tabana gas mines on these two planets. We are rebuilding the mines on Borlias. On Kessel, we do have the mines on Kessel as well. We're doing pretty good. We're just going to keep pushing south, retake all these rebel planets, and then push east to take those Black Sun planets. This campaign's going pretty well. Doing a good job of making sure that we don't lose planets. For some reason, our Gazanti was not in the Pathfinder spot, but for what I think, they don't have any units, so we can just kind of push up our units, and they will probably go ahead and retreat before we have to take out their whole entire fleet. And let's take a look at a unit. Acclimators are such a cool unit. I downloaded on Steam for the first time Star Wars Republic Commando and was playing through it, and you get some cool cutscenes of acclimators. And you don't really see it. Even in Star Wars The Clone Wars, which is a 7-season long show, you don't really see the main role of acclimators is kind of like that transport. They're massive transports that transport ground units, right? So in Republic Commando, you get a lot of good cutscenes of that happening. But like I said, it's kind of weird in Star Wars The Clone Wars, you don't really see the acclimators do so. Even when the Republic sends relief to certain planets, it's never really acclimated. It's always different units. and not acclimators. Let's go ahead and separate our fleet and retake the ground of Alien. This should be a lot easier than the first battle because they won't have turbo lasers most likely, but they still have Twi'leks. They also have a couple of heroes here as well. Let's get you guys. Go ahead and push Beers forward. They have... oh wait, no, that's not who I thought that was. Okay, they do have a bunker planet. Yeah, they always build bunker turrets. Anytime they have one of those build pads, it's either a bunker turret or anti-aircraft. They don't really ever invest into back-to-tanks or repair stations or the reveal planets. I can't remember what they're called right now.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Yes, Commander.
Get our ATDPs going.
Target acquired.
Beers should be tall enough for you to hit your shots now. And it is perfect. So this guy, Carlos Riken, never actually... Let's see. Carlos Riken served in the Old Republic as many of the rebel officers did. Alienated by the Empire, he decided to confront it, to stand firm for the ideals of the Old Republic. He is a capable general and foreseeing strategist. I don't really know what he's from. So if you know what he's from, drop a comment and let me know.
I anticipate no problems.
He's not from any of the games I've ever played. And I've played most of the Star Wars games and watched all of the shows and movies, so... But that's what I love about Awakening the Rebellion. Like I said in previous episodes, they love to dive deep into Legends, and there's so much Legends content. So that's what will make Awakening the Rebellion really, really good for the future. They actually have rebuilt a power generator here. I wonder what they have. Maybe a Shatter Shield. I don't know. Our ATDPs are doing a really good job of just kind of walking through their planet, taking out the Twi'lek buildings, which is good because if you don't know, which most of y'all do know, see right here, mission objective, on a lot of the maps there are civilians, and the Twi'leks are in the employ of the Black Sun and will need to be dealt with. They're actually rebel units. I'm not sure why that says Black Sun. They do have another bunker turret, which we need to make sure we take out. Let's send in some reinforcements. Let's get some air units as well. How are you doing? Taking out that thing, good job. Let's get these reinforcements up there to help take out this bunker turret. Alright, they're actually starting to deal some serious damage. TIE fighters, come down here. Have you taken out that thing yet? Okay, you can keep pushing forward. That was actually something I was wanting to talk about, but I'm getting interrupted. So get some ITTs. How are we doing? Doing pretty good. Not really. We're losing a lot of ATDPs. Alright, we finally took out that bunker turret. Let's push you guys up north here to take out that anti-vehicle turret. Beers is soloing this pathway up here. Let's get him some support of the ITTs to help take out that infantry. Unfortunately, we took a lot of casualties in this battle. We lost a lot of ATDPs. But they're replaceable. ATDPs don't require any sort of technology, so we can actually rebuild those guys pretty easily. Let's get some infantry going up over here. So what I was saying is, once you actually take out all of these buildings, you do get some credits for it. So what's really nice is, it's worth it to take those guys out. You will get some credits for it. I like that a lot because otherwise, if you didn't get credits for it, it would definitely seem like a waste of time to spend your time taking out the civilians because they don't really do any damage to you for the most part if you bring in vehicles. So getting a small little credit boost, it's not a ton of credits, but it at least makes it worth it to take out the civilians. You can keep pushing forward, sir. But yeah, I wanted to talk about civilians in this episode. I had a decent idea for civilians. Right now, civilians are not really that impactful. And maybe that's what the developers want. Maybe they don't want the civilians to be super impactful, but I would love to see civilians be at least a little bit more impactful. So what I mean by that is civilians are on most planets, and most of the time they're just weak little infantry like this, like the Twi'leks. They don't really do any significant amounts of damage, and they just kind of are there. They don't really do anything. On certain planets, there are decent civilians. For example, you have planets like Kashyyyk, which have Wookiee warriors, which are pretty good. On certain planets, you might have... on certain planets, there's like Umbaran soldiers, which have... Umbara actually comes with tanks. So Umbara is a pretty cool unit for that example. They actually come with their Umbaran tanks, and I think they might come with some aerial units as well. So Umbara is cool in that way, but I would love to see them do more with civilians. One thing that they could do is, my idea was to have civilians that you can invest credits into. So the way my idea was, have, say Alien, take Alien for example. You can spend 5,000 credits on Alien to have the civilians be better. Now what that would do is be a permanent buff. We take a lot of casualties on the ITTs, which stinks. And from Alien, we're going to push to Mustafar probably. But I want to finish what I was saying. So let me finish what I was saying real quick. So what it would be is, like, say right here on Alien, there's this thing that says 5,000 credits boost civilians. And it has a different slot over here that never gets destroyed. Once you build it for 5,000 credits, it is a permanent buff for the rest of your campaign. So anytime there's a battle on Alien, your civilians have a buff. For Alien, for example, maybe the Twi'leks were to find an old Juggernaut from the Republic, for example. In every battle that takes place on Alien, you have a Juggernaut. So 5,000 credits for one Juggernaut in a battle is not worth it, right? But it is a permanent buff. So every time somebody attacks Alien, you have that buff. You have that Juggernaut. That's one thing I would do to make civilians a little bit more worth it than just, you know, some weak Twi'leks. So if you have an idea for what can make civilians more fun and more interesting, definitely drop a comment down below. They are investing into IG-88 droid tech. That's pretty interesting. Let's put you in the Pathfinder spot. We should get a mission here for the hunt. Oh wait, we already captured this planet, that's right. Alright, so let's go ahead and on Eridal, I want to build a level 1 vehicle factory. We have some more credits as well. On Ratatak, let's get aircraft 1. The Empire only has 1 level of aircraft tech, so we can go ahead and get that once that is done building. And that's all of our credits for right now. But yeah, I would love to see them do something else with, you know, civilians. Maybe they don't have any plans with civilians. I think they are pretty good where they're at. Obviously, some planets have good civilians, whether it's Trandoshan warriors or Kalish warriors, or you got Wookiee warriors on certain planets and Gamorreans and stuff. So I think they do a good job with civilians, but it would be kind of interesting to see some sort of permanent buff that lasts for more than just that one battle. That isn't capable of being destroyed. Some sort of permanent buff would be pretty cool. Alright, we are waiting for Eridal to be built. That's kind of what we're waiting on. Let's go ahead and make sure that we have... Let's go ahead and put a Governor's Palace on Naboo. On Malastare, let's get some corruption removers, as well as a assassination agent. We've got a lot of tech going. A lot of our credits recently have been invested into making sure that we have good technologies. And we're actually going to keep doing so and building our first level of infantry tech. Infantry tech's not all that worth it. I don't really find building infantry to be all that worth it until you have the highest level of infantry. Once you get the highest level of infantry, then I find it to be worth building infantry. Alright, they have a massive Black Sun fleet hitting Belbringi, which is my buffer planet to Borlias. I wonder what my plan is. Should we maybe not keep pushing south and push north from here? They have all of these planets connected, which is really, really rough. I think we're just going to defend this, send my fleet back, and then rebuild the space station to keep pushing south. That's why I think once you get late enough into the game, it's worth it to build more than one space fleet. Have one space fleet be your offensive space fleet, and then one be a defensive space fleet for when the AI takes some of these planets in the back. Because this Bilbringi is probably the furthest planet away from Alien, so it's going to take my fleet forever and a day to get back here. And I'm just going to have to send them right back up. So it definitely is costly to spend a lot of time maneuvering your fleet from one side of the galaxy to the other. I'm actually going to push my units all the way up here so I can build on this build pad. What do we have here? Ooh, that's a mining facility. Let's get some TIE bombers to go capture that mining facility. Alright, you can stop for me. You guys can push forward. Dreadnought, you kind of circle that way for me. Let's get an anti-laser turret. I don't see whatever that mine was. Here it is right here. We got an asteroid mining station. Some asteroids hold valuable resources that are directly extracted from mining equipment. Pretty good. Alright. Waiting on their fleet to push up. They're actually taking a weird path. They went around these asteroids, which isn't a surprise, but where is this guy going? I don't know. What is that? Also don't know. Are they pushing around these asteroids as well? Or are they capturing stuff over here? Oh yeah, look at that. They destroyed a Star Destroyer. Good. This capital ship got separated. Alright, here we go. We got an acclimator. Let's go ahead and push up and take this acclimator out. There's a lot they can do with space civilians as well. Space civilians is a completely different argument though, because you don't see space civilians a lot. So having them in every battle would be way too much of a stretch. I totally understand that. But I actually haven't talked to any of the developers. I don't want to harass them about what the next update is going to be about since they just updated. But it's going to be interesting to find out what their plans are for the next update as well. Anytime you see these light interceptor squadrons, I'm pretty sure they're paid for units. I don't think most of the time they're going to be paid for. Alright, good. We took out a second acclimator. Let's go after this Corona frigate. As always, they're taking out our Architects in the back there. Alright, we took out that Corona as well. It's really hard to see on this map. I don't think we can reach Tiberzane back there, so I'm not going to worry about destroying him. We can take out this Corvette next. And if he wants to keep pushing forward, now he's pushing west for some reason. But we're actually doing some serious damage in this fight. Yeah, building that laser turret was pretty smart. It's probably doing some decent work while we're focused on this battle up here. Alright, we check out that Corvette. Let's focus on this Tyrene Corvette next. Retaking this planet should be pretty good. Should be pretty easy. Pretty much all they have left now is just their capital ships and their cruisers, which aren't too hard for my capital ships to take out. Alright, they're probably going to end up taking the ground on this planet. The good thing is, right now, I kind of need to send my forces back to the core worlds because I need to replace a lot of my units. We took a lot of ATST casualties there. Ooh, they're taking the Giga Miner as well. I'm not mad at losing this at all because it'll open up a place for the rebels to attack the Black Sun, which is nice. Take a little bit of the pressure off of me. That way they are attacking each other rather than just the Black Sun taking me out. I'm not going to fight this battle. I'm just going to retreat immediately. Save some time in this episode. She's a pretty cool person. She's another person I don't know where she comes from. Obviously some sort of Legends character. It says she served as a TIE pilot. We'll be able to read that in the next battle because she'll be joining up with our main fleet. But yeah, we need to replenish some of our ground forces. Our space forces have done a really good job of not taking too many casualties so far in this campaign. We've gotten most of our space forces intact. But one thing I want to do is on Aragao, I would love to build... What we got? Bobringi. Okay, they're attacking the ground on Bobringi. See, it doesn't say that they're bringing all that much. Let's go ahead and try and fight this battle. As you saw right there in that battle, they don't have any tanks. All they have is those couple of units of land speeders. So my question is how accurate was that statement? Do they actually not have ground forces or like any sort of major tanks? Or was that picture lying? See, they already have space forces or aerial units, which is not something we saw in that battle.
Our base is under attack.
What we got right here? A speeder bike.
Turret constructing. Heavy losses, sir.
Let's go ahead and push you guys over here. Let's get some anti-air up there. We have some prisons on this planet, so Empire prisons. If the AI were to destroy these prisons, it lets out all of the people that were inside those prisons, which are likely going to be a lot of rebel units, and then what aren't rebel units, it might be some Black Sun units, so we don't want them freeing those troops. Alright. Since we're already invested in this battle, I guess we'll go ahead and try and win this battle. I doubt we'll be able to, but we can at least try our best. What did I build here? Oops, I built an anti-infantry turret. No, that's not what I was trying to do. Now let's speed this up. We're definitely not going to win this battle. Hopefully I'll be able to show y'all what I was talking about with the prisons, though. That's a really cool feature that certain planets have, is once the prisons are destroyed... Let's see... We killed some of their units already, and we lost sight of it. Speed this up. Alright, what does it release? So it released some Geonosians and some other units, so that's pretty cool. I love the prisons in this game. Sometimes you'll see Geonosians, you'll see Ewoks, you'll see Gungans, you'll see Wookiee warriors. We did manage to take out a Night Sister hunting party, which is nice. Alright, so as I said earlier, it's going to be nice to have our units sit around the core worlds for a little bit while I try and replenish them. Let's go ahead and get some production facilities going. And on Aragao, I wanted to build the Imperial Advance. Let's go ahead and auto-resolve this battle. So one thing that I can do with my fleet right now is boost the armaments of my Venators and my Acclimators and have them spawn us better fighter squadrons, which will be nice. Let's remove... We don't have enough credits right now. I don't remember if I tried to build a space station here, but crap. Once again, I moved my units too early off of this planet, so they might have taken the space station.
Tactical battle imminent.
Ooh, okay, we're already here. This is going to be a tough fight. This is going to be a big battle. Alright, so the game actually just crashed, so we're picking up right back where we left off. The auto-save, again, is a great feature that saves you from a lot of crashes. So, I don't remember exactly what I was talking about, but the good thing about our fleet so far in this campaign is we've done a really, really good job of keeping our capital ships alive. And the capital ships for the Empire are really, really good early game, because we come with Venators, which against the Black Sun is they have a Venator, so it's pretty much an even battle. And these other capital ships that you see on the map right here are basically MC-75s for the Black Sun. They're basically Victory 1s for the Black Sun. They are capital ships that are early tech and are missile capital ships. They do a lot of their damage from some sort of rocket or missile units or torpedoes. So right now, the Empire has a very obvious capital ship advantage so far. And like I said, we've done a really, really good job of keeping my capital ships alive. And so that's why we're able to win some of these battles so significantly. What I want to do over Aragao is build that advanced fighter facility so that I can upgrade the armament of these guys. So right now, the complement right there in the bottom of the box says complement 2 and 6 reserve V-Wing squadrons, and 1 and 3 ARC 170 squadrons. Once I upgrade the armament for these miniatures, it will be, I think, 2 and 6 TIE fighters and 1 and 3 TIE bombers. You can also upgrade the armament of acclimators from, once again, V-Wings and ARC 170s to TIE bombers and TIE fighters. Something I definitely want to invest some credits into. That will just, once again, make these not super high-tech capital ships even better. Even more worth keeping in the long run. Let's have my Group 1 take out these units. I don't know why they had 2 T-Wing squadrons scouting out ahead for them, but they're getting absolutely destroyed right here. Alright, good job, team. That is not the one key. Alright, perfect. We have 3 capital ships, so we have 4 capital ships going against their 3 capital ships. They do have some corvettes, which are going to be a little bit of a struggle, but I don't think they're going to have too many fighter squadrons. So hopefully we can take out a lot of their fighters quickly, so that my fighters can take out their corvettes. I'm actually going to have to send up my fighters. I can't remember if they had any Coronas or not. Actually, no, this is a Kindosai. Okay, this is a different unit. The Kindosai destroyer here, Kindosai Dreadnought, is a much better unit. This thing is very, very strong. It requires Zon Consortium Global Tech 2, and is much better. It's better than even my Star Destroyers, so we need to take that thing out. My fleet's in a very pretty formation, but I'm going to go ahead and have them push forward a little bit. Alright, you go ahead and sit about right there. Alright, yeah, they don't have any fighter squadrons for the most part. So hopefully we can knock out most of their fighters in this fight. Where did the Kindosai go? In the middle of all of those fighters. Okay, you guys can stop moving. Why don't all of y'all start attacking this thing? What is this thing called? It's a Corellian battle cruiser. So the Corellian battle cruisers are basically the Empire or the Black Sun's versions of Victory 1s. Do most of their damage through bombers or some sort of torpedoes. And overall, you don't have to worry about them too much. They're not super duper deadly, but they don't require technology to build. So that's why you see the AI building so many of these things. Alright, we're doing pretty good at taking out this Kindosai. We already lost what was probably just an Architans. I accidentally pushed my Architans way too far. But they were bound to die eventually. Once this one dies, we can actually go ahead and bring in a Victory 1. So that's why I'm not super concerned. This whole campaign, I've never been concerned about losing my Architans, and looks like this is the fight that we're finally going to lose them in. Ooh, I'm actually losing an Acclimator. That's a lot more concerning. They do have 1 Corona right here. That's why they defeated me so decisively in the fighter fight. But the reserves of our fighters coming in from the Venators and the Star Destroyers is very, very helpful. Alright, push up our fighters. We managed to take out the Kindosai, which is good. Let's go ahead and start focusing on the Venator. I hate to do this to my Acclimator, but I'm going to go ahead and push up my Acclimator as well as this thing. They got a bunch of these Interceptor 4s over here. Alright, Kindosai has been destroyed. You can just kind of focus on killing that thing. Alright, you guys, start working on these Tyrene Corvettes. I really, really don't want to lose. Looks like they managed to get the overcharge, or power to weapons. Okay, that's what the Tyrene got. Power to weapons. Vader, you can go ahead and hit pursuit ability. Why don't you target the Corona up here, see if you can hit that Corona. Perfect. So this was a pretty big battle early on in this campaign. Like I said, it wasn't going to be super decisive. We should easily have dominated this fight, and we did end up dominating this fight. But we knew we were going to take some sort of casualties. Oh, we almost took out that Corellian battlecruiser. But it sucks that we lost the Acclimator. Those are much harder to rebuild, and they have been so important for taking out stuff like Tyrene Corvettes and Interceptor frigates. So losing that is definitely costly. but not too bad. Alright, recovering from the crash. Alright, Aragal, we are building this, which is good. That's what we wanted to do. We did also get our units over here, so we can replenish this, which is good. We did lose the Dreadnought, but we lost the Acclimator, but the Dreadnought that we are getting should be a decent replacement. We're going to put the Carrack up there. We're probably going to lose that Carrack in the first fight it's in, but what are you going to do? Let's work on getting an elite, large, heavy factory that will allow us to build elite AT-ATs, TIE Strikers, IDTs, which is like a flying unit. It's like a flying transport unit, which is really, really good. And some other stuff. They are investing into IG Droid Revolution tech. Looks like the Black Sun is doing really, really good in this campaign. They're probably doing really well up here in the north. Alright, hunt sympathizers. We can do that pretty easily. Fight corruption. We can also do that pretty easily as well. Fight corruption we are doing. And let's go ahead and fight this corruption over here. Let's get another corruption agent on Gormine. We are already investing into ground tech. Let's get some more ground tech over here on Fondor. Get light vehicle tech 2 going. On Rendili, I want to get some advanced cruiser dockyards. This episode is going to be devoted for replenishing our ground forces that have taken a lot of casualties, as well as continuing to work on our technology. Alright, we ended up actually losing the ground on Bombardier. I couldn't remember or not. Borlius is fully back up mining our asteroids after we lost that in the last episode. Once again, we have re-teched up on our space. So let's go ahead and invest into... Now that we have cruisers and frigates level 2, I don't really think it's too important to go up to level 3. That only unlocks us broadside cruisers, immobilizer cruisers, Nebulon B2s, and Lorinor strike cruisers. I don't really ever use the strike cruisers or broadside cruisers. Nebulon B2s are really, really good, but I have one right now. And immobilizer cruisers are also good, but I think investing into warships tech 2 is going to be a little bit more worth it for me. I probably need to put a level 3 outpost there, because that is a really important planet for me. Let's go ahead and attack Bilbringi. That was definitely something that they were missing in that space battle that they didn't have, was the Zon Consortium guy right here. Tiberzan and Uri. If they had both of those guys, that would have been a much costlier battle. Mostly because they wouldn't have retreated so quickly. If they had both of them, they probably would have taken out one of my Venators or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and do heavy vehicles in this fight. Build mostly my vehicles. Probably have some ATPTs help us out in this battle as well. Let's get some ATPTs, let's get some ATDPs, ATSTs, and ATSDRs. So like I said, we really need to work on bolstering our ground forces again, because we have taken a lot of casualties in these last few fights. We're down to like one of each of these units. We also need to build some anti-air units, because that is not something we have right now. Let's get some infantry going. Let's get you going. Let's push you guys forward. Beers, you're good to keep pushing. Let's get some more infantry and some speeder bikes to help out. I don't know where they got these Mandalorians from. I don't know if Mandalorians are spawning from those prisons. What else we got? Those are all pirate riflemen. They got some Mustafarians in those prisons. Check that out. That's weird. Wonder what those Mustafarians did to get into prison. Okay, here's an interesting question. If you were a character in the Star Wars universe, what would you be? Not what race, but like what would you do? Would you be like a Jedi? Or would you be a... Did we capture this? We did. Perfect. Would you be a Jedi, or would you be something less... more incognito? Would you be like So like for me, I think it would be really awesome to be a bounty hunter. That's always when I was like growing up. That was like, oh dude, I really wish I was a bounty hunter. They always looked cool. As I said earlier, I really like Jango Fett. I think Jango Fett's a dope unit, dope cool guy. Boba Fett's awesome. Cad Bane, awesome. All of those guys are so cool to me. We need some anti-infantry up here. You know what the best anti-infantry we got is? It's definitely Vader. Building another bunker turret, not a surprise there. Where are my ATSTs at? Where are my ATSTs at? Did I lose my ATSTs? These are ATST-Rs right here. I don't see any... Oh yeah, there they are. There's a dead ATST right there. Are you killing this thing or not? Because this is about to get built, and it is going to destroy you. Wow, they actually corrupted my TIE fighter. Check that out. Alright, we should be good just to send a bombing run right here. And that is going to be a very deadly bombing run. There's the TIE Punishers. I would love to be a bounty hunter. I think a bounty hunter would be really cool. I think being a Republic officer would be cool. Just to sit on the bridge of a Venator would be absolutely awesome. Doing something like that would be really cool. What else would be cool? Being a stormtrooper, you know, standing at a prison all day, every day would be really cool. I always thought that was really funny when shows did that. It's just like, do they really expect these guys to just stand here all day? But I guess so. I guess it's what our military does, so. Those stormtroopers are always the real victims of the shows. They always just be standing there on guard duty, and then here comes Kanan Jarrus, a fully fledged Jedi, ready to kill them for no reason. They got like families and stuff. They don't ever consider their families. You have some random person in the prison, and now we want him back. We need some way of killing that dude. I think this is all they have left. But like, being a Jedi would be super dangerous, right? You would probably end up dying at some point. Bounty hunter, you would probably end up dying at some point. So thinking about something like that has a much lower chance of dying makes sense to me. I mean, I guess pretty much any job is really deadly for Star Wars. Yeah, we did lose the ATST company. We need to make sure that we... Alright, on Freyja, we still haven't built the vehicle factory on Freyja. Freyja is where I build my level 1 vehicle factory so that I can get probe droids on it. On Aradu, let's go ahead and get 3 probe droids here. I'm also going to remove the golden platform. I don't think we need it here anymore. Let's unpause, remove the corruption here. Removing corruption on all of these planets. Perfect, perfect. And we have recaptured Bilbringi, which is good. And let's send my ground forces back to Anaxes. Let's send my fleet back over to... Or let's hold my fleet here. Let's put you over here. I'm going to have all of you guys go over to Aragal. Because Aragal is where I'm building... where I can upgrade their armor, or their complements. You guys can go over to Anaxes. Alright, we have some more space for ground technology. Alright, perfect. We have ground technology maxed out for something. I don't know what it is, but that's good. Let's go ahead and invest into Fighter Tech 2. Fighter Tech 2 will allow us to have better fighters, believe it or not. And they're actually taking us out on Alien. We knew this was going to happen. They're raiding us on Alien. Let's try and win this battle. I doubt we'll be able to. I figured that they would take Alien back from us, but that's okay. Once we get ready to push back down south, we'll retake Alien pretty easily. And continue our push south. Hopefully we can actually win this battle. This is one of the more winnable battles. Because they have... Oh, we're out of credits. Alright, we're just going to auto-resolve. So we managed to lose Alien again. That's the third time we've lost it. Or I guess second time we've lost it. Let's push my ground forces back over to Alien. Alright, on Aragal, this is what I was talking about earlier about upgrading the complements. So on space you can see that now we have these arrows, and it says at the bottom left hand corner it says complement upgradable right there. Capabilities, complement upgradable. So it's really cheap. It's only around 1,000 credits for each of these. And this will give us, I guess, TIE interceptors for the victories. And like I said, TIE fighters and TIE bombers there. Fight corruption was successful. The hunt sympathizers should be pretty successful once I do that here on Coruscant. We're going to head and upgrade the complement of our Minotaur. Oh crap, we managed to fail this mission too. Man, I am failing missions left and right now. Let's get our space station built back on Bobrini. And we need to start building up our ground forces. So, Frasier, let's get a victory factory, or a vehicle factory, not a victory factory. I was looking at the victory, is why I said that. Rebels are investing into ground tech. That's always dangerous. We can also build our elite AT-ATs and our SPM-ATs. Here's the IDTs that I was talking about earlier. They're basically ITTs, but space versions. Or not space, but aerial versions. They can transport your ground troops, or infantry. Really, really nice. On Rendili, let's get some AT-STs going. We lost a lot of our AT-STs, so rebuilding these guys is going to be really nice. Over here, let's get a vehicle factory going. And all of our complements have been upgraded, except this victory.
Building started. Construction.
We have 10,000 credits. Let's work on some shock trooper platoons. So here's what I was talking about earlier, which I never actually mentioned. We'll talk about that later. Governor control. That's an easy mission. At Ziri. Where's at Ziri at? Oh, brother. Let's take a look for at Ziri. It's not up here. At Ziri. Where's at Ziri at? Is this no? Where's at Ziri? We own at Ziri? Oh, here it is right there. Okay. I'm like, I know it's not a core world. And I thought it was maybe Eriduce, but here it is way down here. Alright, all of our complements have been upgraded. We managed to take out that sympathizer, but it was a little bit too late. Let's have our ground troops over here. Borlias, let's make sure that we remove the corruption here. The one good thing about corruption is it makes your prices cheaper. So we're actually going to be able to get a cheaper outpost here for a little bit of time. Let's get our level 2 vehicle factory. Over here, let's get some... We don't need the probe droids right now. Let's get some ATPTs. These are going to be our best anti-infantry unit. We can also get an SPM-AT. These are our artillery units. And they managed to put a space unit over Alien. That's okay, we'll retreat our guys out and then push back south. This episode was definitely dedicated to technology building and infrastructure building. Okay, that's actually what I was talking about when I said we'll talk about that later. So, transports in Awakening the Rebellion is an interesting thing to talk about. Because transports are, as they should be, they're really, really weak. They are very fragile, and they don't really have a role in battles. So what happens if they were to have one unit? So right here they have one capital ship, which is obviously way capable of taking out a bunch of transports. But what's really interesting about certain units is they actually are more than just a transport. So I don't know if shock troopers have this ability, but our level 3 barracks can train the raidable units, which we saw a glimpse of. But those guys actually come in more than just a transport. They come in a space transport that's actually a Corvette that is capable of taking on other transports if you were to have a transport versus transport battle, and it's actually decent at taking out some fighters. So in a pinch, should you find yourself in the need, you might actually be able to defend your units a little bit. I'm going to push Bebel Limitless over to Aragal. I'm going to start building units on Kuat, so I don't want him in the way. Let's get our Infantry Tech 2 going. Mission successful on the Governor Control. Alright. We have our fleet ready to go. Let's go ahead and just push those guys up immediately to retake Alien before they build stuff on it, hopefully. Alright, the hunt mission, right? We had to send probe droids to Anawat, Hoth, and Mustafar. We now have those probe droids ready to build, so we will, after this, go ahead and send those guys up. Let's retake Alien, and then focus a little bit more on our core worlds to continue building there.
Choose your reinforcements.
So here's the upgraded complement now. You can see that they have the TIE fighters next to them. That just shows that they are upgraded units. I'm doing my little space jump to get to this MC-80 Freedom a little quicker. Alright, all units take out the Freedom. It's got that new bubble shield. The bubble shield got another change in the 2.10 update. It's now fixed perfectly pretty much. As you can see, the fire is getting hit by the shield. It's a really, really pretty animation. They spent a lot of time probably working on that animation. Doing a really good job of perfecting it. Check out these fighter squadrons. Alright, we can speed this up. MC-80 Freedom is a really cool looking ship, but with that ability it has too, man, really, really pretty. Easy battle, easy dubs. No space station makes these battles really, really quick, really, really easy. And hopefully we can sweep in and take out Alien on the ground as well. This should be the last time we lose Alien, because now we're going to sweep down here and take these planets, so they won't even have the ability to retake Alien.
Invasion commencing.
I'm curious to see if they have had enough time to build it. Okay, they did actually. Okay, here we go. This is the battle for Garmbel Iblis. That tank is... This is actually going to be a really big battle.
Choose your reinforcements.
And we still have not built more ground units. Let's definitely make sure we get Vader going in this fight. I'm probably going to have to use these scout trooper platoons as infantry units because we don't have a lot of units in this battle. This is going to be a really nice battle to finish off this episode. Alright, so let's focus on taking out some of these Twi'leks. Let's go ahead and push you forward. If we can manage to... Let's see if we can build an anti-infantry turret here, which would be really solid. And then here, hopefully it gets built up before it gets destroyed. Let's push these ATSDs up. Let's push these ATDPs up. Let's get all of you guys pushing forward. Let's get the rest of these speeder bikes to see if we can take that. Let's build a repair station here. And when we can build the repair station here, we can have my AT-AT, General Veers, take on Garmbel Iblis's tank. And then, if we need to, we can retreat my units back over to here. Alright, how we doing? Let's push you guys forward. My army troopers. Army troopers are pretty cool. They're like what you see on Outer Rim planets. They're kind of like those throwaway infantry from the Empire, even more so throwaway than your average stormtrooper. If you didn't think stormtroopers were throwaway units enough already, they are even more so are the army troopers. They got E11s and whatever that guy's holding. I'm not even sure what weapon that is. Most of my knowledge for weapons when it comes to the Star Wars universe comes from Battlefront 1, the EA Battlefront 1. That's where I learned a lot of my names for Star Wars weaponry. Just gonna put y'all in cover. I'm okay with that. There he is. There's Garmbel Iblis's tank. One of the best tanks that they have. So we have Veers to start off. They have Iblis. That is their super unit. Let's get some TIE fighters to join this battle. I would love to build more TIE fighter units and more TIE strikers. I love how they've done in this campaign. It's kind of like, all right, what can I have to help us out in this battle? Some aerial units. That would really help us out. Alright, Veers, do your thing. We've got you supported with everything else that you need. Perfect. Veers is in range. Yes. This is really good. Killing Iblis early on in this campaign. He is a deadly space hero. He comes with 2 dreadnoughts and the dreadnought he is in himself. Look at how tanky this thing is. We have so many units taking this thing on. And yet he is just tanking right through it. Where are you guys at? Let me make sure you're in cover. Look at that. I have an AT-AT, 2 TIE fighters, 100 infantry units, and some ATSTs and ATDPs. And that guy still was tanking through it. They've actually got a lot of other heroes here as well. They have Kyle Katarn and Leia, as well as an Alliance Envoy, which the Alliance Envoy I don't think does anything. Wow, we actually took out their bunker turret pretty easily. Alright, you guys can push up here, capture this thing for me. Alright, they have another bunker turret right here, which we need to worry about. And from here, this battle should be easy. They have 2 heroes, but we have so many infantry units that taking those guys out shouldn't be too difficult for us. There's their Alliance Envoy. He comes in a Lambda shuttle, which is kind of weird. They probably should fix that. Oh, wow. Vader just... Alright, I had it on speed up, but Vader just threw his lightsaber at Leia and killed her in one shot. There's Kyle-Katarn. There's Leia. If you slowed it down, Vader throws his lightsaber and just annihilates Leia. I guess at this point in time, he doesn't know that that's his daughter because, man, he just cold-blooded slaughtered her. Alright, this is the end of my ground force. We really need to... This episode was definitely a production facility building episode. Looks like the next episode is going to be using those production facilities to build up our units. Let's take everybody out of cover, just tell them to attack, move up to here. Have you guys focus this thing down. Nice, alright, we should be able to win this battle from here. It's always good when you can kind of get a nice looking battle of 2 heroes fighting. So like in this battle we got Veers fighting Iblis. A lot of the time you can get Vader to fight Luke on Bespin, which is really ironic. Surprised we didn't actually get to see that in this campaign. So we lost a lot of units once again. These ATSTRs are not replaceable for me right now. So losing those definitely stinks. So we're going to have to rebuild our ground force. Look at our ground force. We do not have much at all. So that is going to end this episode. We are looking really good. We have secured completely the core worlds. We have completely secured all of these. And we are ready to attack in this southwestern area. Thanks for watching, everyone.